I'm Leah Lawrence.
And I'm her husband, Mitch Lawrence.
And you are listening to the Southern Spirits Podcast, where I regale my husband with Southern stories of the macabre, the creepy, and the strange.
And I drink.
So what are you drinking tonight, Mitchell?
Our beer tonight is Frozen Lands DIPA, or DIPA, or DIPA. I'm not sure. I hope it's not DIPA.
I was going to say, I wouldn't go with DIPA if I were the person in charge of that.
Well, this is what the can says. A spirit of quality brewed and packaged at Trim Tab Brewing Company in Birmingham, Alabama. I'll be the judge of that. 7.8% alcohol by volume. Let's read the online description, because nothing really important on the can. So let's go online. Here we go. Our foray into innovative cold, dry hopping techniques. DIPA with Cryo Sabro and Citra hops. End quote. Don't know what Cryo Sabro is?
I was going to say, that sounds like a cyborg of some sort.
It sounds like a Mortal Kombat character.
Oh, I would...
Like
yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoy this a lot, and it could be because we were out working all day in the sun, but this is incredibly refreshing. I just have perfect after a long day of physical activity. Leah, would you like to try it?
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, just have a sip. I gave it a 9 out of 10. It's not as cold as it was, so you might not like it as much as I do, but it's wonderful. Very refreshing.
Oddly thick.
Oh, that's what she said. And yes, it is a little bit
it's like
frothy, I guess.
Yeah, it's got a really heavy mouthfeel.
Yeah.
Really citrusy. Not terrible, not my favorite. I'm not a huge IPA girl, so...
Yeah. I am a huge IPA girl, so I enjoy it. It's real good. If you can find it, I recommend trying it. It's just nice. It's really nice. That's all that I have to say.
Oh, it's got a weird aftertaste. Yeah, I don't like that.
Also what she said. Our shot in the dark for the night is Heaven's Door Double Barrel Whiskey. We had this on just a couple of weeks ago. Bottled by Heaven's Door Spirits in Columbia, Tennessee. 50% alcohol by volume. It's a big boy. And like I said, a few weeks ago, if you want to hear the full review, go to episode 162, which was called Leah Nerds Out About Benjamin Franklin.
God, that was a good episode.
Was it?
Not really.
No, we
I
just
just
talked about
really
Benjamin
like
Franklin.
Benjamin Franklin, and if I get to talk about him, I'm going to.
Yeah.
So.
It got an 8.5 out of 10 overall, and that is it for the alcohols. Leah, I am extremely tired. Here we go. Like I said, we had a long day. We've been staining the deck that we just had
as I was
built.
say,
So.
I think I've yawned like 6 times on camera, so sorry for that, guys that are watching on YouTube. All like 3 of you, but it's fun. I'm extremely tired and I'm also like 3 or 4 shades darker than normal because, well, some of that's just stain freckles that I can't get off, and
yeah, it sticks.
some of that is just I didn't put as much sunscreen on as I should have.
You can maybe see it on my hands. Like, it doesn't come off, y'all.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, water does not wash off waterproof stain. It's fucking weird.
So we've tried to wash in acetone as much as we can, but it's been a long, rough day, and I am exhausted. But you know what? Nothing's gonna keep me away from those sassy Southern sayings. So are you ready for our sassy Southern saying?
Ain't nothing gonna break our stride. Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. It's a pretty apropos one with the hurricane a-coming. So the phrase for this week is, y'all, this one's gonna be a frog strangler.
Oh, I've never heard this.
Really?
I have never heard this saying. That is exciting. I was just upset that you brought up the hurricane because it's probably going to be really bad.
Oh yeah, no, it's shaping up to be a legitimately terrifying human life. It's a catastrophe, basically, is what it's. I mean, and God willing, it won't be that bad, and it'll lose strength. But as far as all of the shit that has been in the news and the weather reports, I have an anxiety level that is through the roof when it comes to that particular hurricane. So not to make light of that, but legitimately it is going to be a problem. So if anybody is in that area, please fucking evacuate.
Like, it's going directly at New Orleans.
Like, even we're in the zone of danger, like the cone of destruction or whatever they
shame.
call it.
That's the animal thing.
I was going to say, I think that's what they put on dogs.
Steve had one.
We're not going to get hurricanes or anything like that because we're too far north, but hurricanes spin off tornadoes like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
And it could honestly be a pretty bad situation for us up here as well. So, if you're the praying type, great. Pray for everybody down here. If you're not, if you're a vibing type, whatever, witchcraft, voodoo, hoodoo, please just do whatever kind of juju you've got to make this thing not as bad as I'm terrified it's going to be.
Yeah.
But and in the case that it does happen to be as bad as we think it's going to be, be prepared to house a refugee and, donate to whatever organization is going to help people. So
I'm supposed to go to Biloxi in about a month and a half.
Yeah, I don't know if Biloxi's going to be there.
I know. That's what's happened before, and that's what made all the casinos move inland.
Yeah,
because they were on boats, and then a giant hurricane destroyed most of them. So
yeah, so like I said, it's a rough situation. It's tenuous for most of the Gulf states. So like I said, be in thoughts, prayers, juju, and or donations when the time comes, because that's going to be pretty needed down here, I am sure. Yeah. But anyway, just put frog strangler. That's the phrase.
Okay, well, what does it mean?
It just means that it's raining so densely and hard, like a frog strangler is that really dense, flash floody, heavy rain that is so heavy and so intense that it'll strangle a frog.
Yeah.
And frogs live in ponds, so.
Right.
Yeah, it's an intense, drenching rain. Frog strangler.
I get it now. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, well, now that we've got Leah's anxiety behind us, well, no, it's still there, but we've discussed it. How about we get into our very first story of the evening? Are you ready for that?
I sure am.
All right, well, we're going to Tennessee and Hawkins County. Now, Hawkins County is sort of like on the state line with Virginia. It's over there, it's one of the oldest established counties in the Tennessee area.
Yeah. Okay.
And basically, we're talking about the long dog. And I know this sounds weird.
All right, Leah, let's discuss the long dog. I thought that was for after recording, but
it's not that dog, and it's not that long. But
it is not that.
Oh, bless it. No. The long dog refers to a particular spirit, a little apparition that happens to have been seen in this particular county in this area called Sir Joinsville. Jesus, I can't say it. I even looked it up and had on YouTube had an old man say it because I didn't trust myself. Sirgoinsville.
Oh,
that's hard to say. Anyway, just because it's spelled weird.
Well, are you going to give us the spelling?
Surgoinsville. Sirgoinsville.
I would not have done that. No, it's Sir Joinsville. You just said that.
It's Goin, like Sir Goinsville.
Right, but you said join when you said the old man.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm stuttering, and that's a hard syllable connection for me.
Leah, I'm so lost because I'm so tired. So just shh. Well, we're going to say S-Town. That was a good podcast.
But it was not about Sirgoinsville.
Yeah, but S-Town was so good, y'all.
Bless it. Anyway, so this particular... The first time I heard about this ghost story was from, obviously, a Catherine Tucker Wyndham book because, fangirl. I'm
sorry, my tablet is apparently getting notifications, and it's in airplane mode. Why is this happening? I think that's going out I think that's being recorded. I'm sorry, everybody. I just got a whole bunch of homework stuff added. It's still coming.
Looks like Mitch is going to have a busy week. But yeah, it's from a Catherine Tucker Wyndham book called 13 Tennessee Ghosts and Jeffrey.
Yep.
And that was printed in 1977. So
you love those books.
Yeah, and if anybody has an original copy, fucking send it to me because I don't own any of those books.
Yeah, let me have it. It's worth a couple $100 at least.
It's actually not worth a ton, but local collectors around here really like them.
Yeah.
You could probably get $30 or $40 on it, but those, like I said, they printed a bunch of them, and they're not like super rare. But I don't have any of the copies. I've only got them in digital format, so I would love to own a set of those. But
yeah, we have space for books. Absolutely, this house has plenty of space.
We have a bookshelf. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, that's full of shit. It's full of shit that isn't even books.
Some
it's just
of it's books. All of my books, but anyway. And comic books.
Oh, God.
Board games. Anyway. But yeah, so we're going to be talking about the spectral spirit of the long dog.
Oh.
So the original reason that the long dog is there starts with a particular bandit that was really well known in that area. And his name was John Morrell. And he was known as the Great Western Land Pirate and the Rob Roy of the Southwest. So, okay, cool. But basically, he was a notorious thief and highwayman that sort of ran. It's actually, the road is now US Highway 11. But he was known to, it's sort of an area, it was originally like a Native American migration path for hunting, and then, white settlers followed it down to migrate into the Appalachians, and then, like I said, eventually they made that same trail into a highway, but that path was used for, hundreds of years. People used it to travel from up east down here.
Up east.
Yeah.
Up yonder.
And so, like I said, anybody that was traveling by themselves was very, very prone to getting robbed by the highwaymen that were very prevalent in the area and along that entire stretch of road. So, yeah. A little iffy to be around that area, but this guy in particular was very notorious for a few reasons. But let's get into his story, and then we'll get into the long dog. So he was born in Virginia in 1806, but he spent most of his early childhood in Williamson County, Tennessee. It's a little bit outside of Nashville, and he was only 16 years old when he went to prison for the first time.
Oh, yay.
Shot in the dark.
God damn it, Leo. All right, let's see. Load gun? Well, okay, are we going to work? Tablet? Everything else has gone wrong. There we go. Got it.
Okay, shot in the dark. Morrell was first imprisoned at age 16. What was his crime?
Yay, I get to guess the crime.
Was it A, public intoxication, B, B, stealing a horse, or C, arson of a neighbor's barn?
Ooh, I hope it's not the arson. What was A again?
Public intoxication.
At 16? That one. Public intoxication.
No,
God
incorrect.
Well, let me find the fail. You can go ahead and tell me what it was. Wait, let's do this one.
Oh, I hate that.
It's just been a couple weeks, and I think that we need everybody to get on our level.
Yeah. He was actually imprisoned for stealing a horse. And they do not take horse stealing lightly, because he got 8 years in prison for that.
Fucking what?
At the age of 16, he spent 8 years in prison and didn't get out till he was 24.
For stealing a horse?
For stealing a horse, yeah.
But you don't even get that for stealing a car nowadays.
Horse thievery was a really big deal back then.
Horses were more than just your transportation method. But
you could get hung for
What?
Stealing a horse or rustling cattle back
Thiefing
then.
a horse?
Thiefing a horse. You
can get hung
thieves.
for thiefing a horse. You heard it here first.
Have you ever thiefed a horse?
I mean, I don't want to... You remember that time that we talked about let's not discuss things that happened before we met each other? Let's not get into what I did with horses.
Oh, bless. And gross. Anyway... But yeah, so he stayed in the state prison in Nashville until 1830, and he got out of there in 1830 at the age of 24.
Yeah, I guess they didn't have parole programs.
I guess not, but they let him out, and apparently he did not reform his life one fucking bit, because as soon as he got out of that prison, I think being in prison caused him to meet other prisoners that caused him to learn how to do other crimes. You know what I mean? Like as soon as he got out of prison, he became an absolute outlaw, and he actually like recruited a bunch of dudes to have a band of outlaws. And nice. They spent their lives, you know, thieving and stealing and pillaging up and down the Mississippi River and the Natchez Trace.
Fuck. Hold on. I wish you hadn't have said that right when I took the shot, because I wanted to go thieving and stealing and thieving. I wanted to sing, but now I don't feel good. Oh, God. Oh. That is strong, Leah.
So,
yeah, you're right. Get back into it.
So, he was released in 1930. He becomes one of the most notorious bandits and outlaws. But then he was convicted for stealing a slave in 1834 and then goes directly to prison. So 4 years after he's released, at the age of 28, he goes back to prison for another 10 years. So the majority of his like banditry spree, what he was doing happened in 4 years, you know, between his incidences of being imprisoned in Nashville. So a lot of the stories that you'll hear about him are really overblown and probably not as grand as what actually happened. But in 1935, the year after he was arrested for stealing a slave, the people that he stole it from, like the main witnesses in the trial against him, wrote this pamphlet and published it, and the pamphlet accused him of basically coming down to the plantations and inciting slave rebellions and recruiting slaves to be part of his banditry unit, and basically was stealing them and freeing them and asking them to come with him to be, you know, bandits and whatnot. And obviously any like rich white plantation folk are going to be absolutely terrified of anybody that incites any kind of thought of rebellion at all, because that's, you know, sort of their livelihood and what they've based their economy on entirely. So
makes sense.
A lot of the times, like I said, It goes in two different ways. Some people paint him as this just villainous, murderous, awful, terrible, no good, very bad dude. And then also some people sort of spin it as he was an abolitionist. And I don't really think it goes that far historically to saying that he was like an abolitionist more than he was an opportunist, and he could definitely get slaves to come with him because they wanted to get the fuck out of there. So
that's what I was gonna say.
Like I said,
it sounded like he doesn't care about the people.
I was gonna say, I don't think it was really a people thing for him. It wasn't like an abolition purpose. It was more of a, hey, they'll fuck people up with me, and you know they have a better reason than anybody else down here to join, so might as well kind of thing. So I think he's a very interesting figure in Southern history that doesn't get talked about a lot. But anyway, just a thing. Anyway, so he apparently is the one who ends up being especially according to Catherine Tucker Wyndham's story. And there are a couple of other legends of how the Long Dog came to be, but this is the one that is most widely circulated. So the story is that Morrell and his group of bandits sort of came across a family sort of camping in a rural area under this big white oak tree. Just having like a nice little vacation-y camp kind of thing. And obviously they're going to rob these people of everything that they have, because that's what they do. They're highwaymen. And they try to, you know, slaughter the family. And unfortunately, the family's dog gets in the way and they slaughter the dog as well.
Oh, come on, Leah.
I told you, not great.
You left that out.
Well, I mean, that's the spirit that comes back as the Long Dog.
Yeah, but just say he died, you know, running
peacefully
through a field,
having
a great time.
No, he was murdered as well.
Say he ate some chocolate, so he died fat and happy.
No, that's not how it happens. And because that dog died there trying to defend the family, the spirit of the dog is really was pretty often seen. He's not seen as often anymore, and I'll tell you why later. But the spirit of the dog was known to appear to travelers that were traveling around the oak. And depending on if you were, a good person or a bad person, friend or foe, it would appear to you. Sometimes it was aggressive, sometimes it was friendly. But what was really odd about the spirit is that it was just an abnormally long dog. It was just like a weird stretch limo kind of dog.
It's a weenie dog,
but it was like a normal tall sized dog, just stretched out. Yeah,
right. It's kind of like that whole thing where like proportionally ants wouldn't work if they were like dog size, because their legs just absolutely would not support their body because of the force involved. So like the idea of a dog like Samus's size that's the same length as a dachshund just wouldn't work.
No.
Like their backs would just be fucked up immediately.
Which, dachshunds' backs do get fucked up pretty regularly. But...
Right. But they just wouldn't work at all if they were taller.
Yeah. So, like I said, this weird spectral weenie dog is running around Surgoinsville. And apparently one of the more notable encounters with this particular spirit is also accounted in the Catherine Tucker Wyndham story. But it's a man named Marcus Hamblin, and apparently his family was really prominent in the area. And he was walking that road headed home one night, and he sees this glowing long dog standing under the white oak tree, and he's freaked out. He's like, what the fuck is that thing? So he grabs up like a stick or something off the ground, and he swings it around at the animal like, don't get close to me. But when he sort of swings it at the animal, it passes right through, and he's like, oh shit, it's a ghost. And so he runs the fuck off and just like pieces out of there. But apparently, according to him, he saw that ghost multiple times in the same area under that white oak tree.
I'm sure he did.
After he passed under that same area, and he just sort of became friends with it, I guess.
Oh, they were friendly?
Yeah.
Was it a friendly dog? Did it like bring a stick and everything?
I don't think it brung a stick. I don't think it brung one. I don't think it really played games with him, but he became less frightened of it and just sort of, oh, hey, it's that long glowing dog again,
Yeah.
You can get used to anything after a while.
I guess.
But anyway, eventually that particular road was paved, and it became the Lee Highway. And after that happened, basically no one really reports seeing the luminous long dog anymore. The white oak tree is still there, and it's, got like a little marker and all, but like I said, not many people driving down the highway say anything about the long spectral dog. Yep. Maybe it's still there and people just aren't paying attention because, it's a highway and you should pay attention to driving when you're doing that, but the tree's still there, so maybe the dog's still there.
Yeah.
The long dog.
The long dog. Again, the whole idea that it would be that long, first of all, just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. The legs would not be able to support it.
But if you're ethereal and spectral, it doesn't matter.
You could still have back problems. You still have spinal...
Spectral, spinal, stenosis, splensplosis.
Keep going. You'll get there eventually.
It's been a long day.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, come on now. But I'm into it if it's a friendly dog. It's not an angry dog, though.
It depends. If you're being a bastard, it's an angry dog. But if you're being a nice, he's a nice.
If you're being a nice, he is being a nice. Okay. Well...
I think there's like a short circuit in my brain from the sun today, so I apologize for any weird shit that I say.
Yeah.
But anyway, that information,
the
story was from Catherine Tucker Wyndham's 13 Tennessee Ghosts, and also another cute little article about it on mountainlore.net.
Mountain lore?
Yeah, it's a little blog about like Appalachian stuff. It's fun.
Well, that's cute.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess that it's break time to give the camera some cool off time. So
okay.
I'm going to take a nap while we do that.
I don't think a nap's a good idea.
Yeah. We'll continue tomorrow morning.
That is not accurate. We will be back shortly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we will see y'all then. And we have returned and we were just discussing Taco Bell. And the
How
likelihood.
come this time of night is always when you start talking about Taco Bell?
Leah, it's really just like, it's not necessarily time of night. It's like 1 to 3 beers in.
Is your Taco Bell time?
Doesn't matter the time. By the way, we haven't had Taco Bell in like 3 months.
That's true. We haven't.
So like every time we talk about it, we don't go.
No, we don't.
Just for the people out there, like, I can't believe these people eat
Yeah,
Taco
no, we
Bell.
don't actually go to Taco Bell.
I wish that we ate Taco Bell more than we did. But like, we need to stop spending money randomly. And I was told to cut back on my sodium.
And
God
Taco
damn it.
Bell is nothing but sodium.
Yeah, I think it's just a salt shaker in the shape of a tortilla. I think that's all that it is. But, oh my God, that's why it's so wonderful, though. That's why it's so heartwarming. Like, literally. It warms
gives you
my
heartburn.
heart.
Restricts the arteries, makes the blood flow a little bit rough.
I just want it so bad. But I'm going to have a yogurt and go to bed. So,
A Carb Master yogurt.
yeah, 70 calories per cup.
Oh, those things are so
They're
gross.
good. I'm
They're
so
not.
surprised. Now, I understand the not liking the artificial flavor in some of them, but I'm past that now. Like
It's
at first,
the
I was
artificial
like, this
sweetener.
weird.
I can't handle that flavor, and it's got a texture that makes
Right.
it taste like you've just chewed up a Tums.
That's just
That
yogurt.
like chalky.
Well, okay, you
mouthfeel. It's
you
awful.
had half of one.
Yeah, I had
I've
a
had-
bite of it, and I went, I can't do this.
Right, I've had a few of them, and the first like half of one was weird for me, but then they're really good. I've always loved yogurt though, so I'll eat any yogurt anytime. Fucking try me.
I mean, the yogurt's fine, but that one is not
Sending
good.
out a challenge to everybody out there. Give me your best yogurt.
Send me your yogurts. I shall defeat them.
Anyway, I'm gonna have a black cherry fucking yogurt and go to bed.
All right. Well, would you like to have a little story time nightcap before you have your yogurt and go to bed?
Not really. Like if you're asking, no, I'll just have a yogurt.
How about I just give you one anyway?
All right.
Also, Steve's back fat is hanging over the box and it's obscuring some of the letters.
His bango way?
Yeah, his bango wang is obscuring the text on
Y'all.
his box, and it makes me happy.
Y'all, Steve's a little heavy. He's also about 14 now.
He's
13,
not as heavy
13.
as he was when we first started like dating.
Yeah.
He's slimmed down a lot, but he's still got all that extra skin. And
He's looking at me like, you fucking asshole.
You are one to talk, sir.
Don't talk about my bingo wings. I'm going to touch your foot.
Oh, he's a good boy. Anyway, sorry for those of you that are audio only. I just find our cat amusing. Anyway.
Oh, God.
But yeah, so we're going to go to West Virginia, and we're going to be talking about
He's licking his butthole right now.
Mitchell.
He is. Like, I have a fucking front row view. And I wish he would turn around to the camera. Show everybody else, Steve. I've seen this a million times. Show everybody else. Like, I'm good. Ugh.
No, we're going to West Virginia.
West Virginia.
West Virginia.
Yeah.
We're going to West Virginia, and we're going to be talking about the Dingus Tunnel.
I'll bet we are.
So, there's a town
Called the
In
Dingus
West-
Tunnel.
in West Virginia, and it's called Dingus. And it has a tunnel, and that's known as the Dingus Tunnel. And lots of crazy shit happened in the Dingus Tunnel, so we're going to be talking about the Dingus Tunnel. And the hauntings that may or may
It's
not.
been a long time since I've had some porn recommendations. If you go to Pornhub.com and type in Dingus Tunnel, you'll be so surprised.
Oh, anyway, so yeah, let's just get on with it. So the Dingus area, the town of Dingus.
The Dingus area. Yeah. Tell me about the Dingus area, Leah. Like I don't already know. About the Dingus area. I have a salt problem. We've discussed it. Like I gotta get better so I can make my Dingus area fresher.
All right. Anyway, so
Sorry, I guess that was too far.
too far. The county that this is located in is Mingo County, which is sort of the same area that the Hatfield McCoy situation happened.
Yeah.
So if that'll give you a little bit of a sort of a preview of what the folks sort of the temperament of the people in the area at the time kind of was. A little hostile. Just putting that out there.
Yeah.
They don't call it Bloody Mingo for nothing, and this is part of the reason why it's called Bloody Mingo today. Anyway, so let's see. It was sort of around about the time when, the Industrial Revolution was in full steam. They were using lots of coal to, fuel that whole expansion of industry. And what is there a lot of in West Virginia?
Coal.
Coal.
Well, there used to be. I don't think there is anymore.
I mean, there's still a lot there, but it's just becoming very obvious that it's a very poor choice of...
It's a non-renewable resource.
Yeah, it's a non-renewable resource. It's really fucking hard and detrimental to the people that, mine it, etc., etc., etc. It's dirty, greenhouse gases, etc. So, coal's not the greatest thing in the world to be mining now. But back then, that was sort of the new thing. It was the thing that they were rich in, and it brought a lot of opportunity and industrialization into that area that they hadn't seen previously. So lots of railroads sort of decided that business would be, expanded, and it would be a really good business opportunity to put rail lines through some of these mountainous regions of the Appalachians in order to bring in goods and also to export natural resources like coal in order to get them other places, that were making things. So in 1892, the Norfolk and Western the Norfolk and Western Railroad decided that they were going to build a line between Lenoir and Wayne, West Virginia. And so this kind of necessitated them building or blasting, I suppose, a tunnel through sort of a mountainous area there. And that means that they constructed the Dingus Tunnel. And it was a really, really impressive engineering feat at the time. It's almost a mile long, so it's 4/5 of a mile long. It's like 3,300 something feet long. It's a long ass tunnel.
That's a big tunnel.
It is a very, very long tunnel. And that...
Imagine a fucking mile-long tunnel. Oh, my God.
Yeah, and we'll get to why it's very terrifying later.
I've said before, maybe not on this show, but I've said before that I think I would love a long train ride. I've always wanted to do it. I don't know that going through a mile-long tunnel is part of that train ride. That sounds scary.
There are some trains that do have the long tunnels on them.
Yeah, I understand that. And I'm not talking subways. I'm talking like see the countryside type train ride. Like go for a day, like a whole day on the train.
Oh, I've done it. It's less exciting than you think it's going to be.
Well, yes, but like I'm talking get a
really
sleeper
bad.
car and, have all the amenities. Like that's the vacation.
Yeah.
That you're going on a train ride for your vacation.
I would love to do the one that does Canada coast to coast, but it's stupid expensive.
Yeah. Like if I can fly for cheaper to get place to place, again, the train is the vacation.
I was going to say the sightseeing cars are the point of it.
But like, I'm not going to pay out the ass to do that.
Oh, and you will pay out the ass. Train travel, for whatever reason, here in the United States is. And then also in Canada, it is like you're paying luxury prices for like
nothing.
Shitty accommodations.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. I would love to do it, but not that much.
Yeah.
Like,
no, not for me. Anyway. But yeah, so they built this long ass tunnel, and
oh, good God!
The railroads had to bring in workers to sort of construct the tunnel, to do all of the construction that goes into blasting the tunnel, laying the track, etc. And they used an influx of immigrants to construct the tunnel, mostly Chinese people and African American people, and the rather impoverished and very xenophobic people of the mountainous areas they were constructing through did not take kindly to the people that were
they took our jobs.
I mean, that is definitely sort of the thought, but also just racism in general, like just mostly, serious racism.
It's literally all racism.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to get into things, but like blaming the people for taking a job is always stupid. What the hell is wrong with you? Like blame the people hiring the illegal labor, you dumb motherfucker.
Yeah.
Beside the point. If they have the job and you don't, get the fuck over it. Like, it's not their fault that they have it. Okay. That's all I've got. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the people in the area, like I said, were not thrilled with the fact that they had an influx of outsiders and especially people of color showing up in their town. And this leads to a lot of people getting murdered.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Could have fooled me.
Yeah. So there's a memoir that was written by a man named Huey Perry that talks about this whole area, especially the connections of the tunnel and the town. And it was written in 1972, and it's called They'll Cut Off Your Project. I've never read the whole thing, but I've read excerpts of it. And one of the quotes that they have in here that is from that book. Here's the quote. It says, "Old timers there said it was common practice to have a killing once a month. As Uncle Jim Markham described it, why a colored person couldn't think about riding through Dingus. They would stop the train, take him off, and shoot him, and nobody would say a word. Why, they would even stop the train and take all of its cargo. It was a wild country then, and it ain't much better now."
Yeah.
So that was in 1972. So, yeah. Basically, it was the sundown town of sundown towns. And it was like a sun-up, sundown town. It was a, please don't show up here, you're going to get hurt. And so, basically, it was so incredibly lawless in that area that there's documented evidence that there were 17 sheriffs that ended up dead from,
Jesus.
I think, 1901 to 1972. I think there were like 17 sheriffs that died.
Like of the same county?
Yeah, in the same town.
They killed that many sheriffs?
17. I don't think it was just sheriffs. It just said lawmen. So
okay.
It could have been sheriff's deputies, etc. But they were killed for attempting to, uphold the law and to arrest people because they were murdering people. Like there was like a murder a month in this area.
That is just remarkable.
Yeah, and
they killed 17 of them?
17. And the stories also say specific...
How have I not heard about this?
Yeah, I know, it's bizarre.
What?
But apparently, the thing was that the locals would wait at the entrance of this tunnel, because really, in this area, there's only that one way in and one way out of this area. And so, anybody that was coming through and coming to town to, start a job or go on, had to come in through that area. So they would stand at the entrance of this tunnel with guns and they would, quote, pick off anyone that fit their target description. So anybody that was not white and looked like they were from, West Virginia got killed.
Yeah.
Like they stood at the entrance. So, like I said, the estimates of historians are hundreds of victims killed by ambush like this. Like they would literally stop trains, and if they didn't like the people on it, they would kill the people on the train and steal all of the shit off of the train.
How have I not heard about this? This was this recent? Like, I know it's not recent, but like...
I was going to say, all of this happened in the early, about 1905 is about when it ended.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, how is it 106 years old and I haven't heard about this?
Yeah.
You go into a town and it's like, nah, you look weird. Fuck you. How? How have I not heard about that? I don't believe you, Leah. This is bullshit. Fake news. Fake news, Leah.
I mean, I have sources, but it's okay. Fine, you don't have to believe me. I'm done with arguing with people on the internet. If you want to believe bullshit things, like you do, you babe. I can't. My anxiety's too high for that.
I had a nurse the other day. I put up something about how stupid did people feel when a couple of months ago people were saying, "Hey, look, I'm magnetized at my shot site." I put that up and said, you probably felt kind of stupid believing that. So why would you believe it now? Why would you believe anything else about the vaccine that you're hearing from those same people? And a nurse that I know commented and said, a friend of mine, I saw her do that and a magnet stuck to her. and I'm a nurse, and I've seen COVID patients, and I was like, I don't know what to say.
I was going to say, at this point,
what are we doing?
Sure you did, sweetheart.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. I responded with a GIF. I was like, okay. All right.
If that's what you feel, great. Please don't hurt anybody.
I was like no, you didn't. But, okay.
Like, look, fun. You fight the good fight as long as you're vaccinated. I don't give a shit.
I don't think she is. I don't know that she is.
I mean, if she's a nurse, she will be soon, or she's going to lose her job. So
yeah, I mean, I saw something that her husband posted on her wall about Montana is the first state to take away, like, there are no vaccine mandates. I was like, fucking move to Montana. There's like 100,000 people there anyway. Just go die with the whole state of Montana.
I was going to say, if all of the unvaccinated people start flocking to Montana, they're going to have a problem. But all right,
y'all just go ahead. It's fine.
You have. I mean, if they want to have a quarantine state, have fun.
Right. If you're going to oppose vaccines, you may move to Montana. I give you my permission. You have all of my permissions to move to Montana. And that's multiple permissions. That's all of them.
Oh, bless it. Anyway, that was a side tangent.
Anyway, Leah's fake news. That's what I was getting at.
Yeah, my fake news. But no, for real though, lots and lots of people died in this area. And like I said, they believe it's in the hundreds. Like I said, they did not document it, and especially since a lot of the people that were being killed were immigrant farm workers and laborers and that kind of thing. People didn't generally track those people, and they're the people that didn't have rich family members looking for them. So a lot of that shit just didn't get recorded, and nobody was any of the wiser or cared that much. So it, like I said, lots of people died in that area at the hands of the townspeople there. And also, as if there wasn't like enough crazy bullshit that happened in that tunnel, around that tunnel, there were also several deadly train crashes there, because this is a one track. It goes one track through the tunnel. So it's not something that you can have two trains passing by each other. And if you've got two trains that are headed towards each other, one of them's gonna lose.
Well, how fast are they going, and from where did they leave? That's what I need to know. If we're gonna get into a math problem, Leah, help me out, because I got to do some calculus.
Anyway, so in 1898, there was a fatal wreck in the tunnel that killed 7 people. And then 7 years later, in 1905, there was it was a head-on collision between a fully loaded freight train and like a work train that was just like bringing people in and out. And apparently like no one had like a sign-up schedule for the tunnel of when we're going through, and so they just willy-nilly ran into each other in the middle of the fucking train, like in the tunnel. And that actually killed 3 people. And then another weird-ass story, which less bloody and more what the fuck, was another story about the tunnel. So in 1901, some robbers came in and raided the community. They dynamited a large safe in like the local bank. And according to one of the local newspapers from the November 23rd edition from 1901 of the Bluefield Daily Telegraph, quote, citizens were on the scene almost immediately after the heavy report, and the burglars hadn't had time to gather up their booty as a number of citizens opened fire, and probably 40 shots were exchanged. So these people are packing heat everywhere. So the robbers did manage to get a bunch of jewelry, and they got away, but they were shot up pretty bad. So how far they got was very iffy, but they did in fact get away. So shot in the dark.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Let me load gun and shoot gun.
So shot in the dark. What was the robbers' getaway vehicle? Was it A, a handcar, B, a mule and wagon, or C, bicycles?
Oh my God, all of these sound amazing because, number one, I've always loved the idea of a hand car. I don't know what it is. It's just the fact of 2 people pumping and we're going down the track. It's hilarious to me. I love it. Okay. Mules, who gives a shit? But driving away from a train on bicycles makes me so happy as well. So it's either A or C. I don't know because it's not a. I don't care if it is a mule. I'm just. I don't give a fuck about a mule in a wagon. But first of all, the mules. I don't think mules are even capable of running. Like, I think they just waddle.
They trot. They do go. I've been to a mule day. They do trot.
I've been to mule day. I've seen them at top speed. All right. Well, look, I've just never seen a mule do anything but go, fuck you with this load of laundry you have on my back.
I was going to say, yeah, that's generally the mule.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because of the hilarity, I'm going to say bicycles.
Oh, you were so close, baby, but it was a hand car.
A hand car. God damn it. I love a hand car.
Can you imagine? They have this pile of jewelry that they've stolen. They're all shot to hell, but they have their little hand car, and they're pumping through a mile-long fucking tunnel going,
look,
with fucking crazy bitches behind them.
Yeah, look, there are a few of them out there, but if there's a video game with a hand car section in it, I am all there because it's amazing. It's hilarious.
I've always wanted to get on one of those things.
Yeah, it's like I want to try it. I want to see how much force you got to fucking put into it.
because I bet you've really got to hoss it.
Yeah, and I want to do it with you because 5 pumps in, you're going to be like, I got to take a break. And I'm like, I got this shit. And I'm just going to pump and I got us. We're going to move down that train track at 5 miles an hour.
It's going to be great.
I would love to attempt a hand car. Oh, Leah.
If anybody knows where there's a museum with a hand car.
Anybody out there with a hand car? Send us a hand car filled with yogurt.
So they did, in fact, actually end up finding the hand car that was abandoned about 4 miles outside of town, and it was covered in blood. So I don't think the burglars really got super far after that. But yeah, they found the...
Oh, fuck.
The hand car, at least. Anyway.
Oh, fuck.
So after...
Oh, that's so... Oh, it's so strong.
I'm sorry.
We're going to Taco Bell. Because you can drive. Because you haven't had a... Oh, God. No, you're going to Taco Bell for me. I'm staying here.
So the Dingus Tunnel was only really heavily in use between 1892 and 1904. And after that point in time, I think that... So it's kind of debated. Some people think, oh, people keep dying when we send them through this particular tunnel into this particular area. Maybe we find a different route. And other people think that they were just looking for a different route that wasn't as steep and it was easier to traverse for the trains. But either way, they stopped using the Dingus Tunnel line and they, built another line down the Big Sandy River. And so basically there was no more of this wealth of things coming in through this town. And they stopped using that tunnel. And so after they stopped using the tunnel, people sort of just used it locally, sort of walking through it and horsing through it, biking through it, whatever. But eventually, in 1960, they officially converted it into a car, accessible tunnel. And it is a 1-lane, almost 1 mile long tunnel that is still in use today.
I'd try it.
Yeah, they call it the West Virginia Thrill Rod because you never know if you're going to meet another car.
Is it not, you say 1 lane, is it not one way?
It is, no. This is the access point for this part of the town, and it is 2-way, 1 lane.
That's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
So there's not even a yellow dividing line down the middle.
It's not wide enough for that.
It's so narrow.
Yeah.
That there's nobody directing traffic.
Mm-mm.
There's nothing happening. Just take your chances for a whole mile.
Well, I mean, it's a really straight tunnel and you can see down the entire tunnel.
Sure.
So, but that also says that the people that are coming through on the other end are also paying attention.
Right. And have their headlights on or something.
Yeah, you're supposed to put your headlights on through a tunnel anyway, but...
Never mind. I'll watch. I'll go to the tunnel and watch, but I'm not going to go through it.
Yeah, so they put on, they paved it through. anyway, and like I said, they still use it today. And I think in 2019 they got a federal grant and they actually got lighting put up in it, and they reinforced all of the arches and the bricks and all that stuff. So it's been renovated in 2019, and like I said, they put in LED lighting and trying to make it a little more safe, but it's a one-way, like one-lane tunnel through. No, I don't want to go through that, you know? Like, nope. Also, it's haunted by all the people that, you know, died in it or whatever. But,
I'm sure that's the worst part.
I was going to say, but I don't want to add my ghost to theirs, you know? Like, so I'm going to stay out of it. And then also on one of the blogs, I was reading sort of a write-up of it from like a local old man who just has a blog and likes to talk about West Virginia.
Hashtag local old man.
Yeah, it was a really interesting article too. So I recommend it, and I'll list that when I list my links. But he was talking about growing up there and how this was really the only entrance and exit to the town at the time. And they said, so I don't know if you know a whole lot about the history of Halloween in the United States, but like,
I know the Johnny Depp movie where he was the headless horseman guy.
No.
Was that him, or was he just in that movie?
I think he was just in that movie. He was Ichabod Crane, I think.
Ichabod Crane. Is that not the headless horseman?
Yeah, it's Sleepy Hollow, which has the headless horseman in it.
I never saw it. I just know he was there, and he was in it, and it was a thing.
Anyway, not what I'm talking about at all.
That's the extent of my Halloween history knowledge.
No, so like
Go.
Halloween in the sort of 50s and 60s used to be sort of a time where, and a little earlier, it was less about like trick-or-treating and kids dressing up and being adorable, and it was more like youths out wreaking havoc, playing pranks, lighting fires, being mischievous and whatnot. And, you know, eventually communities sort of reclaimed Halloween, started doing sort of community parties and dressing up, and they eventually sort of, there's a good History Channel documentary about the History Channel, about the history of Halloween that sort of goes.
It'd be kind of fucked up if they're like, here's a documentary about us. Enjoy it. No, it's all the good things. It's none of the alien shit.
Shut up. Before it was all aliens.
Andres Capsulis guy, whatever his name is, he's not here.
Giorgio Tsoukalos, but anyway.
I was so close. I was so close.
Before they got all alien on us and they actually did history, they did, like I said, it was a history of Halloween, and they go through all of that. But suffice to say, like I said, it used to be very mischievous, and kids were being out being hooligans and stuff like that on Halloween. And so he recalls that it was a pretty often time, something that happened on Halloween night, that a lot of the teenage boys would go to the tunnel and they would light a fire in the middle of the tunnel, and it would keep people from being able to go in and out of the town. And it basically meant that people, you know, there was smoke just coming out of both sides of the tunnel. They were sort of locked into town for the night, and the kids would throw rocks through windows. They set cars on fire. They egged houses. They did all sorts of crazy shit. And he said it was akin to like a purge light, you know, like a real life mini purge. It was a
purge light.
You know.
Okay. I've still never seen those movies. We should watch those movies.
I've seen the first one. It was fun.
Let's watch them. Isn't Ethan Hawke in them?
Maybe. I don't really remember which one.
We were talking about Predestination a couple episodes ago. Ethan Hawke.
Yeah.
Leah.
But
their shit.
But yeah, so he was just talking about how it was always like a real, like, kind of an event. Halloween was kind of not great because apparently, like, the lawlessness of their forefathers preceded them, and
I mean,
they kind of could fuck shit up on Halloween, I suppose. But yeah, so I guess, you know, generally having only one way in and one way out of a town is not great.
No.
But anyway,
it's a terrible idea.
Like I said, the town is still there, the tunnel is still there, all of it is still in use. It's still a really small rural area. They've only got like an elementary school and a middle school. Their high school goes to like the next town over, so that's the level of like small town we're talking about. So it's a pretty rural area, but their mascot is the dragons, and I thought that was fun.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I don't understand why, but rock on.
I like to look up small towns. From when we were first starting and we were doing the funny town names, I like to know about the different mascots of the different schools and if they had a fun mascot. I don't know. I think mascots are fun. Anyway, yeah, so that's basically the story of the Dingus Tunnel and Dingus, West Virginia. And I got that information from visitcolecounty.org, Wikipedia, and only in
I mean, if I'm going to
state.
get murdered in the tunnel, I don't want to go.
I don't think you're going to get murdered in the tunnel anymore. Also, you're like a white dude, so
Yeah.
I think you're safe, but...
Yeah. And they're like, hold on. Like they're walking by, and then they stop after they pass my seat on the train, and then they back up and they go, hold on. Open that jacket. I'm wearing a jean jacket, right? You know, I'm wearing a jean jacket, and they go, hold on. Open that jacket up, and I open it up, and it says Black Lives Matter, and then they just shoot me in the head. That's what I see happening.
I mean, there's no train running through the tunnel anymore, so probably not, but, you know.
I'm just saying.
All right, well, that was all I had for that.
Fuck y'all. That's all I got to say. If you live up in that thing...
West Virginia?
Not the whole state, Leah. Calm down.
Oh, just the tunnel?
If you live in the tunnel...
You might want to move because I think a car's going to ruin
If
it.
you live in the tunnel, go fuck yourself. That's what I heard.
Oh, bless your heart. I think you're a little toasty, and I'm going to give a toasty so I can go put you to bed.
Why do people... Oh, I'm toasty.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I thought you were like stay frosty, but you
No,
fucked up.
you're-
Like I thought that's
yeah.
what you were going for was stay toasty, and I'm like, that's not it.
No, you're toasty.
All right.
Anyway,
I'm a little
everybody
toasty.
hoist your water cup
I'm gonna
high
sleep
into the sky.
so well, Leah. I
I
gotta
know
finish
you are.
this last beer though.
All right, here's the toast. If you can't get a long little doggy, you'll find one in old Tennessee. He once was a long little doggy. Now he's spectral as spectral can be.
Oh, that's cute.
The Bloody Dingus Tunnel is only one lane wide. Underneath its narrow arches, many men have died. Drink.
Hey, not bad this week.
Thank you.
You should be proud of this one.
Should I not be proud of all the rest of them?
It was no Douglas the camel, but it was pretty good, Leah.
He only has one hump because he's a camel.
Yeah, but some camels have two though, because they're extra storing water.
They're Bactrians.
What?
There's dromedary camels, which are one humpers, and Bactrian camels, which are two humpers. They're two different subspecies of camel.
Oh man, my whole life I've been a one humper, one hump and quit. That's it, right?
Uncannily accurate.
That's Leah. You're going overboard. That's too much. You've had too much. I should take you
I've
to
had
Taco
too
Bell.
much water.
I should take you to Taco Bell and put you to bed.
I'm fine with that. Except
What?
without the Taco Bell part.
Yeah, what?
I don't want to go to Taco
Steve, can you drive to Taco Bell? Steve, wake up.
Bell. I'm incredibly sober, so
No, we're not going anywhere. I'm going to have a yogurt.
excellent.
I've changed my mind, though. It's no longer black cherry. I'm now going to have a blackberry.
Oh, wow, fancy.
Yeah. It's not fancy. It's the same exact thing.
Yeah. Okay, well, how about you outro us so we can go get you that yogurt?
Leah, I'll be completely honest. I don't think I remember the outro. I don't think so. We're going to try it, though.
Give it a shot.
Here we go. Thanks for listening, everybody. Follow us on all of your social media platforms and also ours. They're our social media platforms as well. Thank you. Send us a postcard. No, that is way too early to do that. Send us an email, southernspiritspodcast@gmail.com. Join the Patreon, patreon.com/southernspiritspodcast. Check out the merch store, link in the episode description. Now, send us a postcard. P.O. Box 1743, Hartselle, Alabama 35640. What did I forget? There has to be something. No?
I think you got it.
Okay. Well, there we go, everybody. I'm going directly to bed
It's exciting.
after a yogurt. Okay, well, we will see y'all next time.
Bye, y'all.